Now the Brisbane Broncos, led out by Alan Langer, and surprisingly, Brisbane have given away their away strip, which is the basically white outfit, and they've gone back to the maroon and gold. I wonder, do we read anything into that, Wally, after their narrow loss to Newcastle last week? Here's the Brisbane side, and of course, notably the inclusion wearing the number 19 of the Pearls, Steve Renouf. The three Walker brothers, Chris, Ben and Shane, all on the interchange bench for the Brisbane Broncos this evening. And now Matt Ryan leading out the North Queensland Cowboys. A special night too for Matt Ryan, playing his 100th first grade game. Former Canterbury Bulldog, his first season with North Queensland, and notches up 100 in the first grade tonight.
Yeah, congratulations to him. It's a fine effort to be able to knock up so many. Tim Sheen's to be pretty happy with the team that he's managed to put on the field, almost injury-free. But the thing that I'm really looking forward to today, John, is Nadruku's inclusion at fullback. I think he's powerful running at the back from kick returns will be something that the Broncos will have to be up to all night long.
You'll see in the number 19, Chris Tassel, he's a late inclusion. Jeff Bell was ruled out just this afternoon. Tassel will start in the centres, but Tim Sheens tells me if that doesn't work out, then he'll switch him back to fullback and put Nadruku, who you see there on screen, up into the three-quarter line. Big crowd in, great atmosphere. The Queensland Derby, the Cowboys against the Broncos, and it's underway. And straight down to Paul Green, and Green immediately able to unload his pass to Brett Hetherington. Hetherington, who hasn't trained with the Cowboys during the week, he also has a break in a toe and isn't able to train, but forces himself through the pain barrier come game day, and a vital cog he is in the North Queensland line. So the Cowboys just on their own 30. Brett Boyd to play the ball. Noel Goldthorpe, with Boyd having been tackled, rushes in to be the dummy half. Goldthorpe getting to 10 metres from halfway, and Hewitt signals that they're on the last now. Paul Green with the clearing kick down to Michael Hancock. Bad bounce for Hancock, eventually picks it up. First touch for the Broncos, almost thrown into touch, throws it infield. Lucky you can't get it. North Queensland come up with it. Great start for the Cowboys. Ball to be played back by Peter Jones, then to Hetherington. Jones back on his outside. Big man, quick man, and a very talented footballer, Peter Jones. Now wide from Green, running it across to Goldthorpe, straightening up the attack. Then comes Jody Gall. On the Brisbane 20, Boyd, away to Green, showing it, now gives it back to Goldthorpe, back across field through Bowman. Bowman's pass to Matt Ryan, the skipper. Still 15 metres out from the line. Goldthorpe again, switching it back on the inside to pick up Brett Hetherington. And a penalty. So great start for the Cowboys.
Taking two, boys.
Never online, that kick. Never online. And in fact, it's going to come back out for the 20-metre dropout. Darren Lockyer in the hands of the Brisbane doctor, very close to Brett. He'll have a report on Darren Lockyer in just a moment. Brisbane only 11 metres out from the line. Langer running it, throwing it wide to Webke, and the test prop pushes his way through and almost gets through. Held on to at the last moment by Darren Doherty. G, his pass knocked down by North Queensland. Matt Hewitt restarts the tackle count. Langer going wide. Walters switching his way through. Did they get it down?
Check that one.
This will give us the better indication. The front on view.
It's a terrible rule, isn't it? I mean, all he's got to do is place a fingernail on it with downward pressure.
And I think if that's the rule, that's a fair try.
Well, I believe he's lost the ball.
Again, I think if you look at the different speeds of the replay, if it's slowed down, it looks like he's grounded. If it's at
no try.
No try anyway. So.
Langer through Walters, in behind Campion, picking up De Vere and then to Walker. Chris Walker. Rounded up and lassoed by Noel Goldthorpe. To Alan Langer. Langer's pass putting Thorne into a yawning gap. Nandruku comes at him. Thorne steps over the top of Nandruku and the big fella scores. First try goes the way of the Broncos. Great pass to put Thorne into the gap. And Brad Thorne did the rest. Brisbane 4, North Queensland 0.
Well, first points coming to Brisbane, and I think the reason that the gap has opened up is Alfie Langer absolutely telegraphed this ball was going to go to Brad Thorne. Most people thought it was going to go across the face at one stage to Gordon Tallis. Thorne looked like he was in no man's land at one stage, simply took off, ran there, and there was no defence left for the Cowboys.
Hits the upright, falls back into the field of play. To the cheers of around 30,000 North Queenslanders, no goal. It's 4-0 in favour of Brisbane at the 16th minute.
Probably calling on some of the big blokes now to support him. They've got to run into the holes that he creates.
Noah Nandruku given the ball for the kick return. Campion makes a good tackle on him. Second tackle, they're back up to the Brisbane 20, North Queensland, and now draw a penalty, Brisbane inside the 10.
Steady. Don't say any more. You've got the penalty.
Greg Burke's kick, that looks better off the boot. Touch judges like it. The Cowboys are on the board and Brisbane lead by 4-2. Tim Sheens and Murray Hurst, the coaching brains trusts of the North Queensland Cowboys. Four points to 2 it is in favour of the Broncos. Bowman. Put to ground by Shane Walker. Green runs it, then Grubber kicks and regathers. Brilliant work by Green, and then away to Murphy. Murphy able to fire his pass wide. It'll go to Chris Tassel. Tassel will go in and score an excellent try. Oh, great work by Paul Green. Superb work by the little halfback. Magnificent little grubber kick and regather. Terrific try by the North Queensland Cowboys.
Oh, wonderful effort from Green. Pinpoint accuracy. Plenty of the Broncos blowing up in the background that believed the final pass went 4 or 5 metres forward. But look at the run from Green. There's no doubt that he was intending to put the ball on the spot. Here's the pass coming up. Be thrown, Sailor hanging off. Well, it didn't look to be too much doubt about that. It was a very flat pass. I don't think that they could complain too much about it.
6-4 in favour of the Cowboys. Greg Burke's kick is there, makes it 8-4. Goldthorpe, wide it comes to Paul Green. Green giving his pass on to Kyle Warren, trying to step inside the Brisbane defence. Matt Ryan going down the blind side. Now Green elects to come back to the right. Immediately put to ground by Gordon Tallis.
That's good work from Hancock and Gordon Tallis.
You wouldn't get away.
Well, the referee's going to have to do something about this very soon.
No goal. Can Brisbane get back into the field of play? They do. So, Doherty playing with confidence now, the Cowboys, after that sterling try. Goldthorpe reverses to Green, coming back to the right, switched inside to Peter Jones. Good pass away to Boyd. Oh, smart play of Peter Jones. Terrific skills. 5 metres out, Goldthorpe a dummy half, called for by Green, floats his pass over the top to Tassel, brilliantly read though by Chris Walker. Great ball and all tackle. Green, the crossfield bomb, still loose. Now dived on by Bowman, but the referee will just check.
It certainly is a tough decision to make, as we've already said. Hard to tell by the angle whether he was onside. No doubt if he was onside, it's a try.
Yeah, very tough one this for Graham West to adjudicate on.
Oh boy, I tell you what, if he may be onside, if he's timed his run to perfection, if he has, just regardless of which way it goes, Huge rap goes to Paul Green. That's a magnificent kick.
Try it is. Paul Bowman given the try by the video referee Graham West. And doesn't that bring the North Queensland crowd to their feet? They are loving this, and so they should. 12-4 it is, kick the cup.
Kick 10 metres in now to extend the lead.
Strikes it well, Greg Burke, it's there.
Certainly what the Cowboys didn't need, presenting a Bronco with an opportunity.
Wendell Saylor. Saylor able to get his pass away. Walker coming back in field, Chris Walker. Incidentally, Steve Renoff, like Darren Lockyer, is on the sideline in the hands of the Brisbane medical team at the moment. Maybe another problem with his foot injury. We'll check that in a moment. Luke Prittis switches it back to Gordon Tallis, and Tallis crashes through. He's unstoppable, the big bloke, from that close, and he scores right next to the post. Oh, what a ball game this is. 14-8, kick to come from virtually in front.
Well, and it's all come about. Just mentioned a few moments ago, you can't present opportunities to the Broncos. Tallis is going to get a fair bit of a rap here, but you've also got to pack Luke Prittis on the back. He looked like that he was intent on turning the ball inside, which made it a bit difficult for the North Queensland defence.
Steve Renoff on the left-hand side, they're looking okay. As soon as he did come off for a rest, the doctor was up to see him and had a look at that foot, but maybe just as a precaution. He looks to be okay, Steve Renoff. Of course, Darren Lockyer still hasn't returned after that shoulder charge from Noah Andrugu where they had a head clash. The kick by Michael De Beer is there, and Brisbane back within 4 points, 14-10, 5 minutes until half-time.
John, I can give you a further update on Darren Lockyer. He's just gone into the dressing room, and you won't see him participate in this game again tonight.
Thanks, Brett. So there is the news. Alan Langer kicking immediately for the chase by Chris Walker, but Chris Tassel is back to get it for the Cowboys. Wide to Brian Jallick, his fellow winger. Beat Hancock at the first attempt, then does well to give it back to Green. Put to ground from behind, knocked over in the tackle of Ben Walker. And winded in the tackle. Hooter goes for half-time. Green's okay. Smile from Paul Green as he gets up to his feet. Terrific first half of football. Played at an absolutely frenetic pace. Matt Hewitt sucking in the big deep breaths as he leaves for the dressing room, and I don't blame him. And as he does so, Matt Ryan having a few more words to say to the referee. But the Cowboys in front by 4 as they go to the rooms. North Queensland 14, the Brisbane Broncos 10. That's the half-time score here from Dairy Farmers Stadium in Townsville.
It's time to race in MotoGP. You can hear the roar. Ramps up and rides out. Great start from pole position. Now here we go then. Oh, contact. Has been whacked. Oh, bitter disappointment. Oh my goodness, can you believe it? Who will strike gold? Who will sit on the throne? Here comes Chaplin. What a launch by the Australian. Oh, how close was that? Well, it's called the Horsepower Rodeo. Ride it, cowboy.
Now with Sportsbet, when your mate shares their bet, you can copy it with a tap of a button. Exactly.
We're on. Nice. Oof, tackle. Don't take the 2. Taking the 2. Hands will do it. Pardon me. Green tick. Just to get up. Whose round is it? Yours? Nah, it's your round. Oh, no.
Share the bet, copy the bet. New from Sportsbet.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
40 crispy, juicy chicken McNuggets are delicious with friends. But together with tangy Cajun sauce, that's for close friends only.
Good thing you've got your insurance solved.
The experts agree. Budget Director once again Insurer of the Year.
Money Magazine and CanStar's Insurer of the Year.
Insurance solved with Budget Direct.
driving Australia forward, trust Hino to bring you home. Hino, built for tomorrow, delivering today. That's the Hino advantage.
Visa goes to the ends of the earth, so you can too. Pay securely at over 80 million locations worldwide when you travel with Visa.
To amplify results, Masashi works with professional athletes, optimizing athletic performance through advanced sports nutrition. We deliver the fuel you need for your sport. Masashi, performance amplified.
Go full sport with Code Sports. Stay up to date with all your data, live scores, stats, odds, and full access to your KFC Supercoach fantasy news for all your sport. Now in the one place. Go full sport with Code.
So few people have control over their own fate.
Everyone deserves a defense.
There is no true justice. There's only the illusion of justice.
Who wants to be any part of that?
Does everyone feel Mason hates them? Or just his friends?
This is my responsibility.
You're not ready for another murder trial.
New season, Perry Mason. Tuesdays 8:30 or watch on demand.
One of these sides, unless it of course it happened to be a draw, but one of these sides after tonight is going to be one win after 8 rounds, and that makes it a very, very tough proposition if you want to make the semis.
You can virtually forget all about them, 1 from 8. There's too many teams that have got points in front of them.
Well, the Cowboys with their nose in front by 14-10. The first 40 was terrific. I'm sure the second 40 is going to be absolutely no different. Brett Kenny back down on the sideline. Brett, any news from the coaching staffs during the halftime break?
Well, John, we didn't get anything from the Cowboys, but I can tell you, we can't really repeat a lot of things. We didn't go that far into the tunnels, but we could certainly hear Wayne Bennett, which is very unusual. Wayne Bennett's usually very quiet, and but he was certainly letting the Brisbane players know that he wasn't real happy with the way they've been playing, and they've got to pick it up a gear. And first of all, the most important thing is to start to control the football.
Thank you, Brett. Michael De Vere, his kick fielded by Brian Jellick, driven to ground by Kevin Campion. And here is an interesting stat. When Brisbane have been trailing this season, and that's in 4 games, they've lost all 4. Green shaped the kick at first, then gave it wide to Ryan, but he wasn't running on to that ball, Matt Ryan. Held on to, forced into touch, and a penalty.
That's consistent.
I thought he was ill. I thought he should come to the tackle. Yeah, but too loud.
John, this is the part that annoys me about referees. They're in a situation like that. He didn't call held. I mean, you can hear everything a referee calls via a microphone these days. You could see that this player, he should have called held there, that's fine. But he allowed players to come in and then start pushing him. At no stage then did Bell have a control of where he was going, but there wasn't a call of held from the referee.
The penalty gives North Queensland the chance to attack, and Goldthorpe immediately able to shuffle the ball wide to rangy Jody Gould, who gets to the Brisbane 20. In behind Buttigieg, away from Boyd, in the hands of Green, almost slipped through Webke's tackle, back to Boyd. Boyd sandwiched by the Brisbane defence, knocked over by Webke and Walters. They go to the blind side. Jones again switching it back on the inside for Bowman, looking for try number 2. Paul Bowman is 5 metres out from the Brisbane line. Now away to Goldthorpe, shows it once, turns it on the inside to John Buttigieg, uses his power and almost gets through. 2 metres from scoring, Nandruku to Green, switched inside to Jones, the Brisbane defence holds on to him. Last is coming up now for the Cowboys, 1 metre out from the line, Boyd, it comes back to Nandruku, not played out intentionally by Brisbane, a changeover right on the Brisbane line.
Well, pretty good work from the Cowboys there. Given an option again, though, I'm sure that they would have decided perhaps to swing the ball wide and try and drop the ball in behind the line. It was going to be a little bit difficult to be able to thread the ball through a hole to get a drop restart. But Brisbane now, there's plenty of tired blokes out there. They've got to get the big guys to put their hands up and make territory for them for a clearing kick. The real problem they've got now, John, of course, we've been a little bit critical of Langer's kicking game, is that they don't have an option kicker. Darren Lockyer is off the field, and Alpha's got the sole responsibility.
Now it goes to Langer. This time he pushes it wide to Walters in front of Renoff. That's gone forward. Forward pass to Steve Renoff. How often have we seen that tactic work with Walters, the long pass to Steve Renoff, and normally hits him flat on the chest?
Well, perhaps a little bit weary. As Kevy throwing the ball about a metre short, going about a metre the other side of the line, so there was certainly no doubt over which direction the ball was heading. But it's in attack that Elf's going to really need to lead the team at the moment. He's going to have to lead from the front, make sure the forwards follow him.
Here goes Jody Gall. A very important set of 6 for this for North Queensland. Up inside the 20. Doherty doing the little wraparound with his former Penrith teammate, Brett Boyd. Oh, that's bad play the ball. They get a penalty though. Brisbane interfering in the play the ball. And
I think they've got frustration as much as anything, John.
Greg Burke 10 metres in from touch on the western side, and this to take the Cowboys to a converted try lead. Just swings away too much, and he's not a strong kicker, Greg Burke, and once more for the second time in the game he doesn't put it dead, and Brisbane are able to get it back into the field of play. Up to the halfway mark, the Cowboys, where Jody Gall will play it from Green, then to Jones, shows it to Bowman. Bowman got it at the second attempt. Paul Bowman, he's got plenty of pace, and run down by Wendell Saylor. Last tackle coming up for the Cowboys. Back to Peter Jones, and the big fella puts in the left foot kick. Renoff. It bounced first, it goes back to Hancock, and the referee calls time off.
And he's coming back here. He will give North Queensland a penalty. One of the Broncos players held a North Queensland supporting player back.
The bin for 10. See you later. Pull the bloke out. Pull the bloke out. Pull the bloke out.
Greg Burke with another shot at goal. This one, an easier kick on a better angle, but he's missed it again, and again he hasn't put it dead, and Brisbane get it back into the field of play once more. Well, if you're not going to be successful, you have to make sure that shots at penalty goal go dead. Murphy at dummy half. De Hetherington. Switch back to Nandruku. Nandruku dummies one, gives it to Green. He got away from Alan Langer. Gets away a second time from Langer. Now tries to get away a third time from Langer and does so, and goes very close. Only centimetres out, Paul Green. This is the last for the Cowboys. Brett Boyd. Boyd sends it back on the inside, and they will score. And Kyle Warren, that could be the try that could give the Cowboys their first ever victory over the Broncos, and it may be the try that could just about finish the Broncos season.
It was the platform that really opened. Getting away from the master, the apprentice. Deciding to run it, he really just decided, well, I'll make you guys look silly. A great tackle, last-ditch tackle. In desperation from De Vere made it. But have a look at this. I mean, there's not really a hand laid on him. And to be honest, John, from a normal angle, you could see that he was running onto the ball. He was the only man that looked humanly possible that was going to receive the ball from the dummy half.
Greg Burke's kick, this time it's successful, and the Cowboys are out to lead by 10. Tim Sheen still isn't happy. Prancing down the sideline, barking orders at his troops. Up off his seat again, Tim Sheens. Here he goes once more. Some instructions for John Buttigieg before he goes back into the fray. 20 points to 10 it is. Brisbane, of course, still with a man short. Andrew G quite rightly in the sin bin for a professional foul. And North Queensland have capitalised on Brisbane being a man short, but they lose the ball this time, and quickly it comes away to Ben Walker. Walker striding through a gap, had support on the outside, and his brother Chris couldn't get it to him. Priddis to Kevin Walters. Now to Tallis. Back to Kevin Walters. The moment he got it, he was flung to ground. 11 out, Brisbane. Ben Walker. Long pass to brother Chris Walker. Stepped inside the defence and scores. The Walker brothers. They might have been great singers in their day, but they're terrific footballers in this day and age. Ben Walker lays it on for Chris Walker. And it's not all over yet. The fat lady was warming up, but she hasn't sung as yet.
Well, how expensive is a mistake? The Broncos seeing some big holes out wide. Walker decides, well, I'll loop inside. Just too far for the defence to cover. They're at 6s and 7s. Surely he must be feeling a little bit of strain here.
Pushed wide by Michael De Vere. So the Cowboys are still in front by a converted try.
Well, surely there'll be some rational play here. And there's the reason why Brisbane are so far behind. Double the errors almost.
Inside the last 5. North Queensland in front by a converted try. 20-14. Brisbane season hanging in the balance if they lose this game. In fact, he would just about write them off. And North Queensland spurred on by a ground record crowd looking for their first victory over the Broncos. 38 metres out. In centre field, Paul Green goes in to be dummy half and sends it back to Goldthorpe for the shot. A long-range shot at field goal. Not successful, it goes dead.
Oh, I'm amazed the Broncos players really hadn't even picked that either.
Jody Gore. Called for by Darren Doherty. Tucks it up under the right arm. Put over on tackle number 5. And the kick doesn't find touch. Great take, Wendell Saylor. North Queensland a man down at the moment. Peter Jones, after that kick, was down on the ground for some time and they almost came down that wing where he was injured. Ben Walker. Walker running it wide. Inside the last minute. Kevin Walters. Walters wide to Michael De Vere. Almost up to the 20. Ran off the dummy half to Ben Walker. Then to G. Andrew G wrapped up. That's 4 tackles gone. Now the last coming up. 10 metres, 20 metres out Brisbane. Back to Kevin Walters. This is their last chance. To Steve Renoff, then to Michael Hancock. Hancock goes for the corner, he's over. Michael Hancock scores the try. Shades of the game for Brisbane against Cronulla a few weeks ago, where they have a kick on the bell to get a draw. Michael De Vere it will be, who'll have the shot at goal. 2018, kick to come.
Well, pretty clever work. Walters electing to run the ball. The long pass was the only option that was available. Renoff took a couple of players out. You can see experience. You can't buy that stuff. When Hancock was tipped back inside, defence has automatically indicated to Brett that he's going to stay that way.
Well, it certainly is, and as you said, the right option was taken. I guess they had no other option but to throw the ball. They had to show their hand, and of course Michael Hancock, a lot of experience, took the step back inside.
30,302 voices are against him, let me tell you. Here's the kick on its way, hasn't got the legs, it looks good, it's there! Oh, would you believe it?
And have a look at Walker, casually walks up. What's new? What's doing?
Well, the Cowboys have still never beaten Brisbane. They've drawn with them once before. In fact, a very similar scoreline. It was 20-all last time they drew. They've done it again. A 20-all draw.
This has been a Fox Sports production.